Welcome to version 366, What's New? The highlights for retail inventory. There's a total of 66 enhancements. The top 10 enhancements for retail are as follows. Let's go take a look. First thing is we've added the ability to email your purchase orders to your vendors. This will be under the print option. It'll just be a new button for you to select. And you can have multiple contacts per vendor. You can automatically add those contacts as the send to line. It'll automatically copy whoever's committing the PO. You can customize the body of the email message. You can also add other contacts either from the system as well as other employees. You can of course type in email addresses as well. And there's also an email history that will show you all of the emails that have been sent for this particular purchase order. Next up, let's take a look at a new reporting tab. So this new tab is in the item and the matrix screens. There are 10 reports that are available. So we've got purchase orders and transfers, receipts and invoices, physicals, summary by period, sales by item, by transaction, sales by store per month, and sell-through. All you do is click Run, and then the results will be displayed right on screen. Next up, there's a new purchasing tab on items and matrix. So this is a way you can see all the purchasing activity. So you can see any requests, purchase orders, receipts, invoices, transfers, and returns that have been done. And then you can go ahead and click the Open Document, and it will open that source document. Next up, we'll look at S3 Pictures. So this is a new cloud storage for all of your item pictures. You can have unlimited pictures. This is stored in the Amazon S3 service, so nothing is stored in your database. You get a URL for each picture. You can look at the full resolution of the image. You can also copy the URL. You can also name each picture, and you can also set the sorting of the pictures. And with Yellow Dog Mobile, you can go out and take pictures right on the mobile device, and that will automatically assign them to the items you select and upload them into the system. Next up, we're going to look at the PO Report Quick Buttons. So there's two new reports right from the PO screen. So within the PO itself, you can take a look at a PO to receipt detail report. Then you can also look at the PO to receipt to invoice detail. So you can look at any transaction activity that's occurred from the PO and its related receipts and invoices. Next up, purchasing search. So this is a new enhanced search ability where you can go ahead and now search based on particular item attributes. So if we turn that on and we type in anything in that search field, it'll now search for item descriptions, SKUs, vendor SKUs, item styles, and it will return any results of purchase orders that match that criteria. Next up, employee password reset. So this is a new reset option where the employee can go ahead and set their two reset questions. There are 7 preset questions, as well as you can also create your own. And if there's ever a failed login attempt, the employee can answer those questions correctly and they can reset their password. Next up, automatic inactive items and purging of transactions. So the automatic inactivation of items allows you to automatically have items be inactivated, provided they have an on-hand of 0, and then you can designate what's the activity period that they need to meet, meaning they've had no activity, either for 3, 4, or 6 months, or maybe 1 or up to 2 years. There's also an automatic purge that we've added. And this is meant to remove outdated transactions from your system, as well as any items you've removed or inactivated. Let me explain how this works. So initially, the database was small and everything was very quick. But over time, the database has grown and certain functions have gotten slower. With Purge, we can now add an ability to go through and remove outdated transactions to get your system back up to its optimal speed and performance. The purge can also be automatically performed to keep your database at that small size to keep your operations going quickly. There's also a new summary table that we added into 366 where we will store forever sales, on hand, and purchasing activity. We're adding new reports against this table in version 367, so you'll be able to look at summary information forever. Next up, we're going to look at how you can mark sessions as processed. So sessions that are brought in from handhelds come into the system. And what we're doing is when you use those sessions into a physical, at the end of the physical, you'll be prompted and it will show you all of the sessions that you've used to add counts to this physical. If you press OK, it'll go ahead and mark those sessions as processed, remove them from the list, and now anything that's processed cannot be used on the physical. So it'll be a way that when you look at this list, you're just going to see your active sessions that you need to use. Next up, closeout dates. So we've added a global option. So you could go in here, say at the end of every month, and put in a date, and no transactions can be backdated past that. You can also set this per store. And the store method can either use the global setting, or you can optionally decide to not allow any changes since the last physical, or 7, 14, 30, 60, or 90 days. And any backdated transactions. So if we're trying to enter in a transaction that is before the closeout date, we won't be able to, and you'll get messaging about that. Next up, we'll look at some of the other notable enhancements. So now, as you create an invoice, you can go ahead and enter in a date before you have to commit it. There's a new auto zero functionality that will automatically take an item and make its on-hand zero and book the adjustment to a predefined account. A great way to handle ordering non-inventory items such as supplies from the warehouse. With invoices, you can now have the bill and due date be required fields that they have to fill out. You can do a transfer block on items to prevent certain items from being transferred. You can add URL links to purchasing documents to record a particular website or a particular link to a document that's on the web. The invoice expenses now support math, so you're able to do 6 plus 6 and it'll automatically fill in 12. In the manual sales, you can now import sales. You can also use the new interface. It's a great way to enter in transactions outside of your point of sale system. You can also copy an existing PO and create it for another store. There are store-specific manual adjustment codes, so you can prevent certain stores from using certain codes. And there's also a transfer shortage tracking and accounting posting, where if you issue product and the receiving area does not receive the full amount, it can be booked to a shortage account. We've added several new reports. There's a price change report, summary by period by SKU. The UPC column has been added to the sales by item report. There's an on order by store and vendor per month. There's also a this year versus last year's sales by store. Performance improvements. You'll see noticeable speed improvement throughout the system. There are a number of speed improvements made in reporting, on-hand information calculated cost, and how physicals are processed. To learn more about this version, please visit our What's New site at our website. From there, you can download a complete PDF of all the changes. You can see a matrix of the items from version to version of the enhancements. And you can also gain access to our customer portal where we've developed training videos on all these new abilities. If you're ready to upgrade, go to our help site at help.yellowdogsoftware.com and go to our upgrade section. You can see frequently asked questions, see the technical requirements, view the pre-upgrade resources and planning guides, request a sandbox, or even upgrade your sandbox if you already have one. You can actually self-service and schedule your own upgrade. And of course, you can always submit any questions to the upgrade team. So thank you for watching this What's New on version 366.